Then every night while waiting, just waiting, as afraid as ever and terrified, just waiting for somebody to come in and rape, bash, and then probably knock me out so they'd get their sex off me. I'd be waiting there and waiting there thinking, hey, is tonight the night I'm going to die, or I wonder who's going to die? That went on a lot. Osler House was, like I said, a real old building. It was made of brick, and the things that went on there were unbelievable. It's just like watching a horror story. Just terrified, hopeless, badly bruised and battered. We would stay there every night just waiting for something, feeling the shame and feeling numb. And we couldn't do anything about it. It was unbelievable. We were just feeling, our insides would feel dirty, we'd be confused, and we were only kids, some of us teenagers. Well, in the showers at night, they used to sexually, and in the morning, sexually assault us. It all depended what staff was on, but you could bet your boots that once, out of morning or night, that would happen in all the years that I was there. They didn't only sexually assault us in the showers. In the daytime, they sexually assaulted us as well. Like I said, it would go by what staff was on. But always at night, were we bashed. People were murdered with acts of cannibalism in that place. And, you know, through the whole thing, and in the hallways at night, you could hear screaming. You know, sometimes I thought it was my mind, but no. Maybe on and off my mind would have played up, but no, there was definitely screaming and patients yelling, and it was unbelievable. You could actually smell like a charcoal chicken burnt, and you could smell a strong smell of blood. And the urine and vomit you could actually smell was beyond a joke. I mean, that place was really like a slaughterhouse. You know, I've worked in the abattoirs before, and Osler House was nothing like that, I can assure you. There was a stronger smell that lingered on and on and on. So you can imagine what kind of place this was. Not only that, a lot of us were pretty much drugged up all the time. And even though we were drugged up, we had to keep awake to survive because we didn't know whether a patient was going to bash us that was having a schizo attack, or whether a paranoid schizo was going to throw something over your head. So we had to stay awake as much as we could, and a lot of us were on really hard drugs. I was on Mellarol in one dose. I was on Mellarol, Stelazine, Largactil. On and off, I'd get other drugs. When they wanted to lock me up, they'd have to hit me with a formaldehyde injection that's not even illegal anymore. But unfortunately, they all got away with it. And you know how they got away with it was interesting because, well, everything was so covered up, and they did it excellently. I mean, if we got raped, so what? If we complained, we'd only be told we were mad. And they could get away with it. No one fell pregnant because everybody in that female ward was on the Depo-Provera contraceptive injection. Other people, they wouldn't just listen to us. The judge used to come up once a month, so to see if anything was wrong with the place or see what was needed. Well, they would make us, we didn't have a toilet in our room, we just had a bucket. So the head office would ring up and tell the staff that they'd get a phone call saying the judge was coming up, Judge Pierce. And, you know, it's funny that there's no archives or nothing that was ever written by him, which there should have been. And, well, they say there's not. Whether there is or not, it's another thing. You can guess that as well as I can, what happened to that. what happened as well, we were told we had to clean the buckets, they would do it with a proper sterilisation thing and you could smell the detergents. And then they'd clean them, then they'd put them away so they couldn't prove as he walked around, he wouldn't see anything. Anything that went on in that place, they would lock all the cutlery up. Everything was done, but they made us look like we were the mental cases. Us kids were supposed to be the real maddies that, were real totally mental, and that's why they said they used to drug us up. The point of the fact is we shouldn't have been drugged up. Drugging us up was only, I will quote, shut us up. So a lot of people didn't have to put up. The staff at night, after they raped and bashed us, they'd just play cards all night. And even the staff, when we went to bed early, they would just play cards. And there was a lot of card playing in that place. They had it so easy. They were getting paid for doing nothing. They were getting paid for just raping, bashing and killing us in that place. And man, that sucks. That sucks. Other things that went on in there was, I believe that some of the things, they used to terrify our minds so badly. And what I mean, they used to mentally torture us with hurt. And they used to bring up our child past, and then they used to make fun of us, and then they would get us to, if we didn't answer the question right, they would get a fork and fork us in the hand. Wasn't only that, sometimes they would strip us all naked, and if we didn't answer their questions that we could never answer, because they would kid us with big educated questions, and if we didn't answer them, we would get cut. Now, all my cuts on my arm are not only from me. Some of them was because I was a mutilator, because that's how I came out a mutilator. And sometimes when I was bored, all I could do was cut myself while waiting. It was really horrible what happened in there. And, and it was too horrible. And I think today I really want justice, and I don't know how to get justice. In that place, today, 2 years ago, my life started wrecking up again, where I got uncontrollable complex post-traumatic stress syndrome. Now, the ones that can only help us are the doctors, nurses, social workers, counsellors. The ones that hurt me, I'm supposed to go to for help. Man, I have trouble with that. I don't trust them, and I never will, and I'm very angry with them all. Whether they're nurses, doctors or whatever now, they're the ones that did what they did. Maybe I am saying things I shouldn't about nurses and doctors now, how I think they're so terrible and that. But in the past as a kid, they gave me no reason to trust them, no reason to anything else, because they hurt me, they murdered my friends, and this is right out. I have got some good points as a person, even though I live in a mind scrambled up, confused, and really confused and just waiting for revenge, which sounds really terrible. And it grows stronger each day in me, unfortunately. But every night, I pray to God. I pray to God, and I ask Him to just heal my pain, my hurts, and to take my anger and make me normal. And believe it or not, I even ask Him, when I'm praying, I say, hey God, and please, you gotta let me forgive. It's not that I don't want to forgive, but there's something inside me that just stops me from forgiving, and it makes me wilder even when I try to forgive. I'm a strong believer of while there is hope, there is life. And if you can cling to a higher power, some say it's Buddha, some say it's God, some say it's the Islams believe it's their Islam guy that, they pray to. But no matter, as long as we have a loving, forgiving higher power